So what is climate justice? It is fundamentally the recognition that climate change is not merely a scientific and technical question. It is at its heart a question of political and economic power and equity. The mainstream debate about climate change pits one camp who are climate change deniers and who want to keep using fossil fuels against another camp who support renewable energy and want to transition the economy as structured presently from a reliance on fossil fuels to a reliance on renewable energy instead. But neither of these camps recognizes that there are fundamental issues of economic equality, racial equality, gender equality, etc., that are intertwined with the question of climate change. Climate change is linked to inequality in two ways. First of all, if you look at who is impacted adversely by climate change, both domestically in the United States and worldwide, you will find that it is disproportionately poor people and people of color who pay the price. The incentives in the global economy reward those who seek short-term profit at the expense of all else, which is why fossil fuel companies are able to extract fossil fuels at a great environmental cost, burn them, and then dump the resulting ashes and other pollution. The United States political system is dominated by financial contributions to election campaigns by large corporations, including fossil fuel interests. And as a direct consequence of that, the US has been an obstructionist in global climate talks going back from the very beginning. A just solution to the climate crisis, therefore, needs to start from the premise that those who have benefited from our current fossil fuel-based economy have to pay the price for the transition to a different model of energy as well as a different economy. It means that rich countries who have been the biggest historical emitters of greenhouse gases need to take responsibility for their past actions and provide assistance to poorer countries to adjust to the effects of climate change. For example, provide assistance to Pacific Island nations who are facing the threat of complete annihilation from rising oceans, as well as assist poorer countries with the transition to clean and renewable energy. At the same time, they need to recognize that the climate crisis will drive flows of refugees, of people who are trying to get away from places that are drowning under floodwaters or getting parched by droughts. And they have to take responsibility for admitting those refugees in and resettling them in their own countries instead of erecting border walls and claiming that those refugees somehow constitute a national security threat. Finally, the benefits of the transition to a renewable, clean economy needs to be shared equitably with those communities who have traditionally been marginalized. For example, poor, predominantly black communities here in the United States who are disproportionately located near polluting facilities such as refineries and fracking and coal-fired power plants need to be able to own community solar or community-owned wind energy facilities, and they need to be able to benefit from energy efficiency. They need to be able to get access to the new jobs generated by the clean energy economy. Likewise, Native American populations who are disproportionately again subjected to both extractive industries such as fracking and oil drilling, as well as to transportation infrastructure for fossil fuels such as pipelines. So all round there needs to be recognition and reparations paid by the owners of the fossil fuel economy for the damage they have caused. And we need to, along with the transition of our energy system, transition our economy itself from being an unjust, unequal, extractive, fossil fuel dependent model to a renewable, regenerative, locally controlled, just, equitable model. And that is the only just, feasible long-term solution to the climate crisis.